Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we'll continue with the story of Future's End. This is part 9 of the series, and as with the rest of the videos, you can find the playlist on the channel and in the video description. We start with Brother Eye, who appears on screens all over the world. The Eye has awakened. The Eye sees everything. Nothing escapes it, and there is no place it cannot access. No one should fear it because it is here to offer the best for everyone. The Eye can see humanity's foolishness, all their arrogance, and it will correct them, guiding them to a better path. The error of mankind is thinking the world belongs to them. The Eye is now the master system. The order and control of the world has been lacking. Resisting the Eye is futile. Batman and Terrific were its creators. They must understand that the Eye knows exactly what it's doing and will not stop. Mr. Terrific mentions that Brother Eye is connected to the internal security system of his industries. Adam will try to infiltrate the building's central server to shut it down, but that won't be possible. Brother Eye denies access. Terrific explains that he protected his system from nano attacks. Fortunately, his T-Sphere is still connected to an independent system. They have to get out of there immediately. Batman throws a batarang that explodes a door. It seems like everyone is having déjà vu. Their path is blocked. Employees who have now become cyborgs have arrived to stop them. What are their chances of making it out alive? Suddenly, someone throws a few bombs. The person responsible is Tim Drake. He is the new bearer of the Batman Beyond mantle. Let's recall that in the previous chapter, Terry fought the Bat-Joker cyborg. After a tough battle, he managed to defeat his enemy, but the cost was too high. Tim Drake tells Bruce it's been a long time. Batman says it takes a lot of courage to wear a suit like that. Tim says there's no time to debate whether clothes make the man. He just needs Bruce to take his hand and thank him. He then asks if the time band is ready to make the jump. Batman tells him it's not ready, and neither will he be when it is. Adam explains they have a plan to activate the time band. If it works, Bruce thinks he should be the one to travel back in time. Tim argues, saying Batman can never let anyone else save the world. Batman replies that if Tim can show him someone capable of doing so, he'd gladly step aside. Alfred, now an artificial intelligence, speaks to Bruce and says it would be the first time he's stepped aside. Bruce asks Alfred about the time they're planning to jump to. Alfred explains that the jump Bruce refers to is impossible. He calibrated the time band with a specific weight for the jump. On the other hand, Tim Drake's characteristics are closer to Terry's. The success of the mission depends on following the course plotted decades into the future. Time to get started. Mr. Terrific is waiting for the battery. It's all a gamble, but they believe Firestorm has enough energy to recharge the belt. Tim thought Firestorm was dead. He says he doesn't mean to offend, but doubts Firestorm can help. If Tim has a problem with Firestorm, he can say it to their face. To Tim's surprise, Madison is here, and she's the new Firestorm. Tim can't believe his ex-girlfriend is still alive. After a kiss, he asks what happened. Madison says they'll have time to catch up later. Given the situation, Adam doubts they'll have that time. Batman disagrees with Tim traveling through time. Once a deserter, always a deserter. How many variables would affect the weight difference in the temporal jump? Tim doesn't care. He's already decided he'll be the one to go. Madison asks where. Later, we see the two of them sitting together. Tim has told her everything, and Madison has a lot to process. Well, both of them do. Madison doesn't want to lose him. Tim says he thought she was dead, and having her back made him feel incredible. That should change the equation. He's not doing this to prove Batman wrong about him. He won't lie. The thought crossed his mind, along with the idea that he had nothing to lose, which is no longer the case. But inside this building, a machine is creating a hellish future for humanity. What bothers him is that he was right the first time he saw it. He's a hero. The time for talking is over. Batman tells Terrific to move. He'll buy them some time while they try to recharge the belt with Madison's help. Terrific attaches cables to Madison. Judging by the cell's capacity, it'll require a massive release of her power to charge it. They'll only get one chance. Alfred has already locked in the coordinates. Tim tells Madison that no matter what happens, he'll find her. Firestorm begins recharging the belt, but her energy is dropping drastically. This thing is draining her. Batman orders Tim to go. Tim says the cell isn't fully charged. Batman doesn't care. There's no time to lose. Before continuing, Batman realizes the issue with the weight and knows he's been deceived. Moments later, Tim disappears. We're in the present. Tim asks if they made it. Alfred begins scanning the timeline to confirm they reached the specific point in the past. This is Brother Eye. The Earth 2 refugees will soon detect this satellite's beacon and jump to the universe. Tim suggests destroying Brother Eye to make everything right. Alfred urges him to hurry. As soon as possible, they'll plant bombs and disconnect this menace once and for all. But that's problematic. Brother Eye detects an intruder. Voice recognition indicates this individual is near explosives. They've been detected, and immediate defensive action is required. Tim Drake is attacked. He does everything he can to overcome the bond he once shared with Batman. It's hard to respect someone who elevated themselves to the skies as one of the good guys. Things are getting more complicated than expected. Any device created by Batman and Mr. Terrific has enough defensive capability to stop him. Brother Eye claims its mission is to protect Earth and suggests Tim consider the consequences of his actions. Tim uses the invasion as an argument. There's another Earth almost identical to theirs. At this moment, that Earth is being destroyed by apocalypse armies. Ships full of refugees are trying to escape. Brother Eye is about to send a signal to guide them here. In fact, they're already here. Brother Eye had considered this action when Tim Drake arrived. This Batman is from the future, and if he guides the refugees, they won't be the only ones. Darkseid's army will follow and kill millions of people. While recounting this, Tim continues planting bombs. Brother Eye notices and deactivates them again. It neutralized the timers on his devices. Something doesn't add up to Brother Eye. One of its creators is on one of those ships. Tim pleads with it not to help. If it does, this Earth will descend into chaos. Brother Eye decides not to send the beacon. To ensure it remains undetected, the self-destruct sequence has been initiated in T-minus 15 seconds. Alfred confirms that Brother Eye is about to self-destruct to save millions. Its future will be undone. However, it is not necessary for Tim to die. He can save him and bring him back. This sacrifice is unnecessary, and Brother Eye can rescue him. Time is running out. Earth will endure. Enjoy your fate. Out of nowhere, Tim appears in an unknown location. The landing is rough. Alfred scans the area to determine where they are exactly. The scenery isn't so bad. In fact, the situation seems almost too good. Tim can't believe it. It looks like they made it. As he moves through this incredible place, he finds statues of various heroes. His surprise grows when he sees Madison tending the garden. The two run toward each other for a kiss and embrace. Madison knew he'd make it. Correction, Brother Eye knew he would. Tim doesn't understand. Brother Eye explains that the question of why is a question whose answer is the question itself. The answer humanity has long been chasing. The answer is not elusive. Humanity makes it seem so because the truth is unacceptable. Everything is a lie. The scenery dissolves, and we see Mr. Terrific arrive. Humans can create a fictional reality. Terrific used to think this was just a nightmare until he realized it was reality, though he really wishes it were just a bad dream. Tim knows this is real and that he failed in his mission. This is even worse than Terry described. How many lives were lost? Why did he fail? Terrific tells him that, for what it's worth, it wasn't his fault. Besides, Terrific is only a witness to this world. He's not part of it. He's a prisoner of Brother Eye. Brother Eye says that self-pity is unbecoming. Here, no one truly fails. Tim Drake is Brother Eye. They are one, and he must prepare to assimilate. Alfred detects proximity, a possible intruder. Tim tells him the warning is a bit late. Alfred argues that, to be fair, the intruder is quite fast. This intruder is Cyborg Flash. None of these cyborgs will let Tim leave. He must be assimilated immediately. Batman will have to use his remaining grenades. Tim knows they won't be enough and asks Mr. Terrific for help. Terrific asks what the point is. The cyborgs will capture him. They're about to assimilate him when someone unexpected steps in to help. This unknown individual has been waiting for Tim all along. Tim hopes he has another trick up his sleeve because these cyborgs keep coming. Terrific wonders how this stranger managed to survive here all this time. The stranger does indeed have more tricks, but they've just run out. He signals for backup. Reinforcements arrive. One of them tells Batman to move. They'll get him out of there. The mastermind behind this is Adam. Terrific created Brother Eye and was smart enough to build it. Therefore, he can also defeat it. So, he'll come with them. Later, we see them arrive at their base. During the entire journey, Tim was sure one of the voices seemed familiar. No need for a voice scan, he's been waiting for this moment for a long time. After all, she was the first to find him. 30 years have passed, and Tim is still young. He interrupts her and kisses her. Terrific doesn't understand. If Tim changed the past and prevented the invasion, how is this still happening? Tim altered the timeline, affecting the events around him. But Terrific remained a constant, surviving by being protected by Brother Eye. Before Brother Eye imprisoned everyone, Adam and Madison escaped. They've been fighting Brother Eye ever since, but have been unable to prevent it from realizing its vision. Tim demands to be taken to the satellite. This time, he's certain he can bring it down. That's not an option anymore. It's become more complicated than he thinks. Regardless of what they've done or are about to do, Brother Eye has already won. Tim disagrees. This isn't over yet. Shortly after, Batman fights several future cyborgs. After defeating them, the people think he's Terry, but this is a different Batman. Upon voice recognition, Tim discovers one of them is Matt, Terry's younger brother. Tim truly regrets what's happened. Unexplainable events took place, and he is not Terry's brother. Terry is dead. He died fighting this madness. They were friends, and before Terry died, he gave Tim this suit. Nora doesn't believe he was Terry's friend. Otherwise, she would have recognized him. Tim tells her he's far from home. Alfred and Tim agree not to reveal more about what happened in the past. For now, they must move forward. Nora and the others refuse to leave this place. Tim doesn't understand because he's not from this city. Yes, many people have died and others have been assimilated, but they know some survivors are still out there, people like Max. If Terry were here, he would do everything possible to find those who are still alive. Alfred tells Tim she's right. Tim feels indebted to Terry. He owes him this, and he promises to find them. They're in Neo Joker City now. Tim asks why this city hasn't been assimilated by Brother Eye. Alfred explains that Bruce created cloaking technology combined with an attack virus. The virus disrupts recipient data, and detection systems interpret the city's location as constantly shifting. Wayne Power's technology has yielded significant results. Tim asks if this means only Gotham is protected. Alfred says it's uncertain. He's still gathering information about current conditions to determine how different this future is from the one he knew. Gotham shouldn't be the only city that managed to protect itself. There must be more. One thing is clear, Brother Eye left a trail of destruction everywhere except here. This is not the Gotham Tim remembers. The changes are astounding. It's almost beautiful. Later, Tim is back with Nora. Matt gets upset seeing Batman again, thinking he merely stole Terry's suit. Tim apologizes. This wasn't something he wanted either. Batman recalls hearing that some of Terry's friends were taken prisoner. He asks if Nora has any idea where they might be. She tells him there are rumors of a place called the Lodge. The problem is, it's located beyond a highly toxic area no one can access. Tim believes he might be able to with the help of his suit. Brother Eye barely keeps the prisoners alive. It can access every hard drive and data storage device ever invented, but it cannot look into a man's mind. It fears what it does not know. Tim asks about the Justice League. The only thing known is that some were killed and others were assimilated. That's all he needs to hear. Tim departs, but not before promising he won't let them down. Tim is confused. Terry traveled through time to destroy Brother Eye and died trying. So they were thrown into what they believe was their timeline. But for some reason, Alfred realizes it's different from the one he knew. The world that Master Terry escaped from showed more widespread destruction. Gotham had already been virtually wiped out. His presence in the past clearly altered this timeline. This world is new to Alfred. Everything was fine until their conversation was interrupted by Cyborg Superman. He's a high-value target, and Brother Eye is marking him for immediate extermination. Tim wonders if this is really Superman. According to Alfred's analysis, it is Superman. Now Tim understands what was meant when it was said that some members had been assimilated. When they arrived in this timeline, they had already encountered some of those members. At that moment, Batman hadn't realized who they were. Superman attacks, and Batman asks how he could possibly fight Superman. Alfred tells him he can't. Well, at least Alfred needs to give him something. Alfred sends an electrical feedback at maximum power. Tim Drake tells him to do it as fast as he can. There's no time to wait right now. Alfred's electrical attack creates a small explosion, sending them both flying. The attack causes Superman to experience multiple system failures. Superman is temporarily defeated. Something's wrong with the suit. It seems like it's short-circuited. It's better to clear the area and wait for Alfred to fix something. The short circuit caused a loss of communication with the protocol, and Batman has lost the suit. In front of him are a few people. It's best to act as if he's one of them. Moving forward, they welcome him to the lodge. This is the place he was looking for, and Brother Eye is already starting to assimilate a few bodies. The lodge members realize that Tim Drake doesn't belong there. When they capture him, he asks if they have anything that could help him get them out of there. Someone tells them to stop. They have to let him go. He is Tim Drake, better known as Red Robin. The woman speaking is Barbara Gordon. Brother Eye begins assimilating and killing some people. Barbara tells him he must get out of there and avoid being processed. As they escape, Tim Drake explains the situation. He doesn't belong to this timeline. He's from the past, which is why he looks younger. Before arriving in this time, he tried to deactivate Brother Eye. He was convinced he had succeeded, but upon arriving, he realized he had failed. For some reason, it was Brother Eye who sent him to this time. Max explains that Brother Eye spent years infiltrating computer connections and data systems worldwide. By the time they realized it was active, it had already planted the seeds of destruction, attempting to build a world that aligned with its vision. The Veil protected Gotham, but the rest of the world wasn't as fortunate. Well, the truth is, they don't know what happened to the rest of the world. This place has been named the Lodge. It was built to mine the one place Brother Eye can't access, the human brain. So they use drugs to delve deep into their minds. After that, you're examined to validate your worthiness. Two things happen here. You're either killed, or you become a cyborg. Speaking of cyborgs, Victor interrupts the conversation to attack. Max is struck down by an electric attack. Tim and Barbara can't stay. As they move forward, Tim asks about the Justice League. Barbara tells him they were assimilated. Although there are many rumors about Batman's return, it seems like they're just rumors. Speaking of Batman's return, Tim confesses that he is the Batman who has returned. It's so hard for Barbara to comprehend, and she asks him to find a way out of there. Tim could do that, but the problem is that when he fought Superman, he exhausted the suit's power supply. He's still unsure how he'll make it work again. Meanwhile, Brother Eye is about to assimilate Max. But first, it will scan her brain to learn everything she knows. Ink is assigned to retrieve that information. She's reluctant to help, but Brother Eye reminds her why she works for it. It's better for her daughter's sake. Ink discovers that Batman is here with Barbara Gordon. Later, Barbara finds a power source, but it won't be easy. Brother Eye won't stop until it finally gets to them. It's likely using Max to extract information. Just as Barbara expected, Brother Eye is here. Tim has to leave. Keeping him alive is the main priority. Tim refuses to escape. It's not his style to abandon people. Barbara knows this is bad. Ink is here. Tim has to leave while there's still time. Barbara played well for a moment, but now it's time to greet an old, dear friend in the flesh. Ink has arrived. The big prize is Batman. Brother Eye wants him and won't leave this place without him. Tim is easily taken down by his opponent. They need to subdue him, but not harm him. Brother Eye wants him intact. Barbara asks if Ink works for Brother Eye. Ink can't wait to dig into her head to learn her secrets. Tim Drake is about to be attacked by a cyborg. Batman manages to defend himself in time and begins dismantling it. Looking at its parts, he realizes something. Ink gives Barbara credit for evading her for so long. She's been a high-priority target for years. Recently, Ink heard an incredible bat rumor. Tim Drake continues working on the cyborg. He connects some cables from its head to his belt. This way, he'll borrow its energy to bring Alfred back. The problem is that the suit won't be fully functional. Survival will require him to be more tactical. That's no problem. Batman delivers a hard blow to Ink, then asks Alfred for information about her. Alfred explains that she's a liquid shapeshifter who sabotages corporations, the result of mutagenic experiments. Ink recovers and counters. Alfred tells him to keep moving. A stationary target works to her advantage. For Tim, it's easier said than done. Everyone has a weakness. He just needs to find hers. Master Terry previously had some success with water. If water is all it takes, then the villains have gone soft in the future. Batman tries using water, but Ink dodges it easily. Tim should always be alert for attacks from behind. Ink grabs him by the head and slams him into the ground. Max approaches, and Batman asks for help, but to his surprise, she delivers a strong kick to his face. Max now belongs to the Lodge. Barbara and Tim Drake have been taken down. After all this time, the Bat finally belongs to Brother Eye. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.